So Tim Kennedy issued an apology this morning. Some people call it an apology, some people don't. I call it an apology. Whether it was written by the attorney or not, he still had to ultimately approve what was going to be put on his social media. That being said, I'm not a veteran. I never claimed to be a veteran. My family served, father served, grandfather served, his grandfather served, a whole lot of relatives that served. I'm 63 years old, and that was my one regret in life, that I did not serve. That being said, I'm a civilian, and I'm going to tell you what this looks like from a civilian perspective. And this is basically to the people, to the podcast, the Anti-Hero podcast, Valhalla, and whatever podcast is jumping on the Tim Kennedy bandwagon to try and ruin this guy's life. It's one thing to call a guy out for stolen valor, right? It is quite another to try and ruin the guy's life, his business, and his family, and bring him down. Because I'm going to tell you what it looks like from the outside in. It looks like you guys have a complete hard-on for this guy, and it is just not because of what he said in a book, what he does on TV, in his interviews, or otherwise. It goes way beyond that. That's my opinion. And that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like in my opinion. Right? That being said, you know, from a civilian perspective, it makes you guys look really fucking bad. And I'll tell you why. Because I keep up with things as much as anybody else does. I know that recruitment is down, and I know that we do need people in special forces. Now, I train, you know, and I train with guys that are, you know, that are in special forces as well. You know, it doesn't make me, I'm not one. I train with them, but I hear what goes on. Regardless of all that, right? Recruitment is down when it comes to that particular demographic of military. And what you guys are doing, right, is really driving that away from people. Kids who want to get in, and this, I'm not going just by speculation. I'm going by what I've really heard, right? People don't want to come into stuff like that if they know that, or think that they might be ridiculed afterwards, right? Now, these guys aren't just going after Tim Kennedy, right? Although he is their biggest hard-on right now. Because if you look in the Anti-Hero podcast, if you look at Brett Tucker's bio, for Christ's sake, he's got Tim's name in his bio. How fucking Looney Tunes is that? But whatever. I commend these guys for serving. They did their service, and again, I thank them for their service. But this goes beyond stolen valor claim, because I looked it up, right? And there is no case pending whatsoever, right, in the Army as far as an investigation goes with Tim. They've dropped it, right? So right now, what is going on right now is all public opinion. I get it. You guys compiled a bunch of video and a bunch of interviews that says otherwise. Tim apologized for it, right? And that's it. But I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why that this kind of bothers me as a civilian looking in, because I've been in the MMA field for probably since the Pride days, not as a fighter, but as a strength and conditioning coach. So I know a lot of these guys. These guys have been in the spotlight, right? I mean, since they started fighting, right? But after that, he goes into his service. And the thing is, he retired from service, went to go fight more, and then he re-enlisted, which, you know, you got to commend him for it in some way. But all you guys do is tear him down. You tear him down in every little way. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, these guys build their channels on just shitting on other operators, right? They've gone after McPhee, right? They've gone after Sean Ryan. They've gone after Rob O'Neill and a whole host of others, right? So these guys go mostly after the high profile guys that are successful, that are becoming successful on the internet, getting out and doing things for their country, still doing things for the country, like Tim, right? And from a civilian looking from the outside in, it makes you guys look really bad, right? So don't sit there, I'm jumping on Tim's nuts or I'm whatever I'm doing. I'm just trying to defend the guy because he still goes beyond the call of duty, the way I see it, right? After he's out. He's still going to DC. He is still rooting for our veterans. He is still working with kids. He started a school. He did a lot of things, and he's done a lot of things. This guy's been in the spotlight, and I think that's really what pisses you off more than anything. I don't think it's anything else. I mean, I get where you're coming from with the stolen valor thing, right? I'm not going to sit there and comment on that, whether he did or not, right? It's out there. But the fact of the matter is, he served, right? And so you guys are just, it goes beyond that. And I don't care if anybody thinks that I'm crawling on his nuts or whatever it is. I see what's going on. I see a guy that is out there really trying to make a difference, right, in the world and helping people, right? And while he's doing that, he is getting shut down and he's getting shit on by these other podcasters who are still trying to make it, right, in whatever they're trying to do, right? So, you know what? I'm not going to say whatever because it's not whatever. I think it makes you look really bad. I know you don't give a fuck what I say, right, or anything else, but as a civilian, it looks bad. It looks bad.